Hello, I'm Luminara Serdar. I have the website Autism Transformed. I put on the Autism Recovery Summit, and you can find that at autismrecoverytelesummit.com. And I provide a lot of resources for parents with kids who are on the spectrum and want to heal from the symptoms we call autism. And so my latest and greatest thing that I've done that I'm pretty proud of, and I accomplished that with Anna Jackson here, who is also on the call. I'm not sure what they see in the recording, but so this project that I've created is a real labor of love, and it's the Autism Expressions card deck. So here's just one of, kind of the beginning card that introduces it. What I want to say about this card deck is that I think I want to talk about the story of how these came to be, and then show how to use them and what they're really for. It wasn't my intention to create any kind of communication deck at all. I was post-yoga class bliss, lying in my Savasana pose, and this idea came in, and I had been reading. This was actually inspired by a book, and many of you may know this book called Ito in Autism Land, and that was written by this young man here, Ito Kadar, who did the rapid prompting method for communication after he did years and years of ABA, applied behavioral analysis, and probably other things. It's a great book for understand. It's written by, he was 12 at the time he wrote it, and he was talking about what was frustrating for him and what it was like going to all these therapies and people not understanding him, but him really understanding them. And so I had been reading this. So I hope someone who's watching this at some point knows Ito and can tell him, I tell him personally, thank you for bringing this, for writing and bringing the situation to my attention, like what's really going on internally for at least him with autism, and I suspect a lot of other people, because I've read other books written by people with autism, and they're very similar. So he was very frustrated with what was happening, and just one of the little stories I read in there was about his therapist would tell him to, I don't remember if it was a green card or a red card or what he was supposed to point to, but let's say it was between a green card and a red card, and they said point to the green card, and he knew in his mind where the green card was, but his hand went to the red card. And then the therapist and whoever, maybe another therapist with her, would proceed to talk about him in front of him as if he wasn't there and say, well, he's really just not cognitively there, he doesn't understand, and a lot of judgments. And he would get really frustrated. And then you can imagine after a while, you might want to just give up because people don't get you. I was reading this book, and here after my yoga class, I got this idea, make an expressions card deck. So not like the PEX deck or like I know there's other communication decks out there, which I didn't really know a whole lot about anyway. But that wasn't my intention. My intention was to say, like, what's the frustration? What's the soul really want to say? What do they really want to tell people? And I don't have every single thing covered, I used Ito's book as kind of a guideline and came up with different expressions. So I'll read a couple of them to you, and we'll go through them later with the cards. So this one is, look deep inside me to see my intelligence. It is there. That's funny, that was on the top of my deck, and I'm just talking about, Another one is, I feel trapped within this body and know that I am here. So it's I don't know that there have been any other communications like this. I don't understand what's happening in my body, so I need some extra understanding from you. So those are just a couple to start the introduction. So I started writing down all these different sayings that would just come to me kind of in a meditative state. And then, and I said, well, I can't draw. I am not an artist yet. and a couple of my friends actually knew Anna Jackson, who also lives in Eugene, Oregon, where I live. And so I'd like to introduce Anna. And I talked to Anna and I said, hey, I have this project and I would really love for you to help me with it. Do you think you can? And we met and just sparks flew. So I'd like to introduce Anna and have you say hello and sort of speak about your process a little bit in co-creating the cards with me.
Great. Thank you, Luminara. My name is Anna Helena Jackson. I was overjoyed to be included on this beautiful project with Luminara, and it was quite the journey for me to experience this beautiful deck of cards that Luminara had created, and go through each of the expressions and go through an interpersonal journey with each one for myself. I took each card and really sat with it and was able to apply it to my own life and my own experience and really get into a place of understanding with each of the expressions, and really took time with each really drop into understanding the deeper meanings there, and spent a lot of beautiful time in the forest contemplating and moving with these beautiful concepts that Luminara and I were working with. I worked with mixed mediums. I did watercolor and acrylic and colored pencil and some collaging elements, and was able to explore a lot of different ways of interpreting these concepts, and that was really enjoyable and creative. Deep.
Anna, you cut out for a second, so if you said anything right in there, we missed it.
I was saying that I felt very supported creatively to explore all different ways of communicating through this medium, through art, through visual interpretation, and that was really juicy and nourishing for me to explore that. Each individual card has its own very particular expression, and no two are like each other, and it was very fun and nourishing for me to play with each of the concepts in that way. I'm feeling so grateful for this whole process and excited about how they now look in their little edited boxes, and seeing as a complete whole series it's really special and beautiful. And being someone who has been diagnosed on the spectrum, it feels really exciting for me to have a voice in this field and to share my own experiences and my own interpretations of through my own inner journey and inner workings, and have that be seen outward by other people and potentially benefit and support other people in their journeys as well.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. I just want to show the whole deck. So first of all, for those hearing the recording, you won't see this, but I think on the webpage where we put the video, I'll put the link to the Amazon page. So I have on my website, autismtransformed.com, I have the card deck and, a card spread and a few of the cards, and I have those same images on the Amazon page. So there's 52 cards in the deck. I'm just going to hold them up. This is the back side. So the back side is just kind of this, cosmic scene out in space, but with the images of kids. It might be hard to see here, but there's like some kids in there holding hands. So that's the back side. And the front side of the 52 they're just all different. They're all different colors. They're all different expressions. They're all different art forms. And so what I want to say now is how I see they can be used. I see they can be a help for especially therapists, teachers, parents, maybe healthcare practitioners and doctors, siblings, maybe, members of the family who, well, first of all, I think moms particularly, or parents who spend, the parent who spends the most time with their child really, really gets their communication and their expression and really understands them, whether they're verbal or low verbal or not at all. So this isn't a means to replace how to understand the child at all. I'm going to pause a moment because I'm hearing a bunch of noise and I'm going to mute everybody. And would you please mute yourself if I have not muted you, just so we don't have background noise. Okay, I think I got everyone. So it's not a replacement for how you understand your child on a daily basis, but it is a guidance and a help for people who are working with your child. And basically, your child doesn't have to be able to read to use these. And there's words and there's pictures. They don't even have to understand the pictures necessarily. The idea actually is that, sorry, I'm distracted by some sounds in the background. If that's you, Anna, mute yourself, and I'm going to mute you for now. Okay. So, sorry, I forgot where I was. Yeah, you don't have to be able to read or understand what the picture is, but the idea is that what I notice, at least with a lot of the clients I work with and a lot of the parents I talk to, is the kids are very energetically sensitive and really overwhelmed by a lot of energy, overwhelmed by a lot of electromagnetic frequencies, and just don't like crowds, very sensitive hearing and feeling and things like that. So I feel like their energetic signature, their energy is going to choose the right card energetically for them. So their vibration or energy is going to vibrate with the particular card that best expresses what they want to say in that moment. So let's say, okay, I'm going to use myself as an example. What do I really want to share with you guys right now? I'm a little afraid because I don't want to go this deep, but I'm going to choose this one. Okay, it says, I'm so sensitive that I feel everyone's energies and emotions, and it's a lot to deal with. Exactly what I was just talking about. So that's what your child might choose in the moment. And it's in the moment expression. So it was interesting that I went to a couple autism conferences this fall, and I spoke with a couple of moms. When I literally first got the cards sent to me at the hotel, I hadn't seen them before then. And a couple of the moms, I said, hey, choose a card for your kid. And they chose exactly the card that was expressing what probably was going on for their child right then. And one of them was this girl, this picture of a girl. I don't know if I can find it very easily, but it says, I feel so overwhelmed. So I felt like that was interesting because the mom had just been telling me about some things and saying how overwhelmed her daughter was. Of course, I can't find it when I want it. So maybe you could find that one, Anna, if it's easy to find in the deck.
I have it up.
Okay, so yeah, if you speak, the video will go on you. So go ahead.
This is the card that says, I feel so overwhelmed right now.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, yeah. Anna, do you see anything I might have forgotten to mention about the cards that we've discussed?
Yeah, I think I would add that even though that this is focused towards people with autism, it's really has so much that can be applied to anybody. And I think that most people could benefit from playing and learning, exploring through this deck. I've had lots of experiences with friends who have chosen cards that have been perfectly suited for their day and brought them insight and took them on a little introspective journey that has benefited them. So I think it's something that can be universal.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about that is that just muting a couple people. What's interesting about that is I found this card, which is, it says, I feel so alone, but I really want to be in connection with you. And it shows kind of a punky teenager. And I think this is like so many teenagers feel this way. Like they're confused and they want to be in connection and they feel really alone and they don't know what to do, but they don't know how to express themselves. I mean, I feel like it could be appropriate for any of us at any time, but particularly teenagers. Yeah, thanks for adding that, Anna. So basically, the idea is to really read your child's soul and or for the doctor, or therapist, or teacher to really understand what's going on. Like I mentioned, when Ito in Autism Land, when Ito was saying like his therapist didn't understand him, they were talking about him in front of him, it was really hurtful. I think if the person that's working with your child gets that understanding, like let's say they get this card, there's this one I love, that's great, kind of for teachers. Find it here. It says, please be patient with me now. I'm doing the best my body is able to right now. And it's like a little kid on a school chair, or a little creature on a school chair wiggling around. And I think, you know, if your body needs to move, but the teacher says sit still, you're really at odds. And so if that card were chosen, and I don't know, it just might give a little insight and understanding to the teacher. That's my hope. That's my hope, is that whoever's working with your child might get a little bit more understanding. So I'd love to, at this point, open it up for if anyone has any questions. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. I know there's some background noise, so I prefer just, you can either type in the box, in the chat box, like I have a question, and then I can unmute you, or you can just unmute yourself and ask a question if you have any. And I really don't know. Yeah, or I think there's a raise your hand. No, I don't know how to do that thing. So yeah, if nobody has any questions, I'll give another minute or so to see, or comments. Have you had any experience with using these with children yet? I haven't personally. Most of my clients are at a distance, so I don't actually see them in person. I was hoping we would have either maybe Maureen or Gloria on the line. I'm not sure, I don't see them here, but it could be on the phone. Moms who have used them, I've had some feedback on my Facebook page where people have said a couple things about using them. I can try and find those. How much is the deck, and do you ship internationally? Well, it's sold through Amazon. The deck is retails for $30. I am planning to make a coupon. Because of some weird Amazon stuff at the moment, I can't, but I should be able to soon. So I wanted to make a coupon for getting these for the holidays. So you'd have to check with Amazon if they ship internationally, because I apologize, I don't know the policy. I don't know if it's like a huge shipping fee or what. I know that Amazon, at least I'm in Amazon US, and I think it ships to Canada and Mexico. Yeah. Okay, what name does your Facebook page go under, please? My Facebook page is under Autism Transformed. Oh, I see that was written. Thanks, April. Oh, I was going to look for feedback from moms who use this. So let me see. Here's one. These are amazing. The teachers, parents, and students love them. They helped our school out very much. These other reviews. Oh, think about the other reviews. They're very helpful for classroom visitors, and our superintendent loves them. Thank you, both the artist and publisher. I'm going to use some of the kids. Specific feedback. So that's all I'm finding on the first page right now. I'm going to go to the next question. Can this be used with children in special needs rehab center with speech or in counseling for parents and children? May like to see if they may be a way of helping kids communicate. I don't see why not, because the idea is that their energy is going to pick the card of how they're feeling. I have a feeling that some kids will kind of look at the cards and choose from looking at it, but I don't know yet. Yeah, so I would say for sure special needs and rehab, that's a great idea. I haven't even thought of that. All right, and it seems like people are typing in their questions. Any other questions? Or comments? I would love to hear if the people on the call, if all you guys, if you like the concept, if you don't like the concept, if the art seems to appeal to you. I mean, I haven't showed you many of the cards, but here's one I'll show. My body is confused about what foods it likes. Things don't taste the same for me as they do for you. Picture of a kid like trying to eat broccoli, but it really smells like a dirty old sock. It's kind of a sensory mix-up problem. Here's one that was completely inspired by Ito. I hear you, but cannot make my body work the way I want to. And that's the choosing the wrong thing that the person's asking for. And then this little guy, I'm not sure what you're saying. It sounds like a jumble to me. A bunch of words and letters floating up above his head. Let's show a couple more. We love the concept. How many cards are there? There are 52 cards. And then there's like two sort of intro cards. One is for the autism card deck. It explains how to use it. And the other one is just a little bio of myself and of Anna. And I like this one a lot. My body knows what makes it feel better, so let me move the way I need to. Little teddy bear kind of moving all different ways. Right. And I want to say too that Anna did this amazing job of kind of, the child who wanted to be on the card just kind of came through in her process. And there's all ethnicities, all colors. There's little creatures that move around, and so I really like the diversity. Okay, certain tastes really bother me. Let's try something else. And it's a girl with a big yuck. All right, a couple more things. Another question. We love the concept. I love the cards. Are beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for that. Like to see if they can be used with different age groups and see how they respond based on the pictures to communicate. That's a great idea. And as I said, you don't actually need to see the pictures because it's not like I'm going to choose this exact picture of how I'm feeling. You can use them that way, but, and I'm sure I don't cover nearly all the, infinite number of expressions. And then, like I said, you can choose them just by choosing the backside and go, oh yeah, this one. I'm feeling mad. Okay. I'll give one last chance to type in any question or ask a question, and then we'll call it a day. Would you consider an app with this? Wow. I don't know anything about how that would work. Never thought about it. Let me write a note on that. Yeah, I'm not sure because, like, how would you choose a card energetically? You could choose them by looking at them, but I'm not sure that, like, you can lay them all out in an app and choose one. But I'll think about that. Thank you for that suggestion. All right, anything else you want to add, Anna?
I'm so grateful to be here today and to have shared this time with you all. And I'm excited about how each of you who choose to encounter and interact with this deck. I'm excited about your experience, and I hope that there's some magic that happens for you, and an interesting journey, and then something enjoyable and healing.
Thank you. And there's one other thing I wanted to say is that if you do get the card deck in the intro card, at the very bottom, there's an email address, and we love to have feedback. We'd love to have feedback both on the Amazon page, a review, and also you can just email us directly at cardfeedback@Autism Transformed, because I would love to share stories of how people are using them. And if you don't want your story shared, just let me know. But I really like to, I just want to know. I want to have your feedback because it's important to me. I care about how you feel about them and how you use them. So thanks to everyone for joining on the webinar today. I really appreciate your showing up and hearing about this concept. Someone says, I'm excited to get the deck and start using it. That's great. Thanks, Nicole. All right. Take care, everybody. Happy kiddos, healthy kiddos. And see you on the next webinar. Bye-bye.